Hello, everyone. It's Mike from Downtown Comics, and I'm here as always with James Rossman. James, how we doing?
Good, Mike. How about you?
I am good. So we're going to talk about some comics that were released this Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. DowntownComics.com is the place to go to check out all the new releases and liking, sharing, and subscribing. Also, your comments. We've had a couple of comments where people are, thinking about things. So that's awesome. So, let's get going.
Yeah.
All right. So, James, what do we got for?
So, up for me is Absolute Batman number 12.
All right.
The biggest, blanket statement I can say about this issue, or about this comic in general, is that it's pretty brutal.
Okay.
In this issue especially because of the way that Bane handles, obviously in the past couple issues, it's been Batman and Bane, fighting, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and Batman escapes, and he's basically been in a coma for 20 days, and he wakes up, and Alfred's by his side, and he's like, "How long have I been out?" He's like 20 days. He's like, 20 days. So then he's like, trying to, he's like, "Oh, I need to get back out there. And then he finds out that Bane has been going after some of his closer friends,
Okay.
like Oswald, Edward Nygma, and Harvey Dent.
Okay.
So, and I think I may have mentioned this before, but this Absolute Bane is so surgical, so methodical, and just about everything he does. And I'm going to leave this for you guys to read, but it's so brutal what he does to his friends.
Okay.
And it's amazing that they're still alive.
Okay.
So,
is this the end of the Bane arc? Because it's number 12?
So, I believe so, but it's still going to have ramifications going forward.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, at the beginning, Batman basically escapes Bane's clutches, and that's kind of when, the whole, him being in a coma and stuff like that happens. So, it shows how far Bane will go to, tell Batman, be like, hey, so let's see what else happens in there. We do have a subplot with Selina Kyle.
Okay.
So, I think it's the next issue, I think, is when she comes in. We do get a...
is this her first appearance?
As Absolute...
Catwoman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Because I think the A cover of the next issue is Selina Kyle and the...
Catwoman outfit?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And it almost looks kind of like something from Black Mask, almost. Like the way that her uniform is.
Okay.
But we do also see... it goes into a little bit of the relationship with Selina Kyle and Bruce before Bruce was Batman.
All right.
So we get a little bit of that. So that was really interesting. But, I mean, I feel like every time I talk about this Absolute Batman series, I always say, this issue's better than the last. It's just continuing to...
Okay, so
Scott Snyder. And, very much so. Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta are quite the pair.
Okay.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Anything else? No?
Nope. Yeah,
nope,
that was pretty much it for that. Yeah.
All right. Well, my books are all number ones. They're all from Marvel, and they're all kind of reintroducing characters or concepts that have been out of the Marvel Universe for a while. So we'll start with number one is Undead Iron Fist number 1. So Danny Rand, if you didn't know, he died.
Okay.
A couple of years ago in one of the last Iron Fist books they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure who the latest Iron Fist technically is. There may not be one. I'm not... In the comments, please tell me if who. I know it was a kid, I think, at one point. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're returning Danny Rand as Iron Fist. We don't know if he's... I mean, it says it's Undead Iron Fist, so we're not sure if he's technically alive yet.
Okay.
But he is back in the material world, and at least in this first issue, he seems to be kind of a demonic possession, like an occult version. How to put it? He's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but he's not killing people. He's expelling demons from people. So there seems to be some sort of a rift which is allowing these demons to come into our world and start possessing people. Mm-hmm. So he is tracking them down. And it's intimated that he's doing this under the orders of someone. So, this is either, his job or part of his penance or something.
Sure.
But, yes, he finds these ordinary people that have been taken over by demons. There's a bunch of karate fights. All the bystanders are like, "Hey, you're kicking this old woman's butt. You're beating up this old woman. Why? But he's able to, through his powerful martial arts, he's able to expel these demons from the body. So it's just
Okay.
It's kind of a fun little actiony book. At the end, you do get the return of another fan favorite Iron Fist character. The writer clearly in his notes at the end is a big fan of the Ed Brubaker run of Immortal Iron Fist, which is widely considered to kind of be the best run of Iron Fist. I mean, not discounting the stuff that was maybe in the 70s, which was, kind of fun and stuff, but in terms of like storytelling and characterization and art and all that stuff come together, that run that Ed Brubaker did with David Aja and a couple other artists, in my opinion, is worthy of that title, of having read Iron Fist for most of my comic book life. So a character from that book shows up, and it seems like they're bringing back a bunch of fan favorite stuff. So we'll see. This is probably a mini series. We'll see what happens. But yeah, he's got kind of a cool costume.
Yeah, he does.
Look. Yeah, there's different characters and stuff like that. So
how long was that run? That
Immortal Iron Fist? Oh boy, you're gonna tell me. I think it was about 3 years, like 30 or 40 issues, I want to say.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it may have, and Ed, I don't know if it ended or maybe it switched over to another writer and they kept it going. I don't remember. I'm not sure, but I think the complete volume was in like one, so I don't think it's more than 36 issues at best.
Yeah, okay.
They were able to do a big complete, Ed Brubaker run kind of book.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
And do you think that's pretty long for an Iron Fist, or do you they could probably go longer if they?
No, I mean, I think he's an interesting character. I mean, he's kind of obviously Green Arrow for DC would probably be the closest character that is in the other company. Like, even though Green Arrow is kind of matched with Hawkeye because they both shoot bows, actually from a character standpoint, Green Arrow and Iron Fist are both heads of conglomerates who have decided to use that money and power they have to fight for like the weaker people. Sure. But then of course he's got, Iron Fist has got that mystical side. He's also like the protector of the realm and the gateway and Kunlun. Yeah. So you get into that mystical martial arts, Mortal Kombat kind of stuff, So he's got it a little bit both ways, I guess. So but I mean, could it? If you get a good enough writer, sure, anything's possible. But no, a couple of years on a, if you do an Iron Fist book, it's a couple of years. Give a writer a shot.
That's pretty good.
So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. So up next for me is Captain America #3. This issue was kind of big, I feel like, and definitely has been my favorite issue so far because I feel like issue 1 and 2 obviously were definitely kind of setting up this storyline.
I did like this issue. I did read it, and I wasn't gonna. I'm just gonna. I will just interject that I thought this issue was a little bit more confusing.
I can see that.
Than the other two, just because there's a lot going on, and so I was just a little confused, and maybe I'm just misremembering what happened in 2. So maybe that's why, just because I don't really remember the ending of 2 exactly, or how the setup was. So, but go on.
Yeah, which I mean, it kind of is, because we're dealing with Doom in this book,
right?
So it's kind of
exactly.
like, wait a second, is this? But the Doom in this book. I've heard people talking about how it's very, very kind of reminiscent of the World Under Doom, but it's not.
It's not. No, and we're still not sure. This is still set in like some sort of past.
It's like the early 2000s because this issue did actually. It's kind of crazy. Like they talked about 9/11, and today's 9/11. So, but so like we do get a lot of Doom in this. It takes place about 2 weeks after Captain America got thawed out, but it's like, it's like I think it's like the early 2000s.
Yeah, right. So, it is because there's some stuff set in Iraq.
Right.
With Colton.
So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that, but no, this is kind of Doom in this story is, he's recently taken over Latveria, and not by being elected, by just basically taking over essentially, like
Yeah.
So we do learn a little bit more about David Colton's previous deployments and how those might affect him in the present, at least in this book.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we do get that. At the end of the last issue was Captain America was confronted by Doom, while Colton and Howland
team.
Commandos, where they were trying to go search for the captured Americans.
Right.
So we do find out about the American hostages. I won't say anything too much about those because might not be exactly what you think. But I really enjoyed this issue. It was interesting because Doom was basically the conversation that they had was basically him praising Captain America, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he's a known in Doom's history, he's a known anti-fascist. Like there's been many a thing with Doom hates the Red Skull. Like he despises the Red Skull. So, and and of course he references the fact that Latveria was part of the push against Hitler, and also they were in World War One, and so it does. I mean, it makes sense. In some sense.
Yeah, and it's like he didn't necessarily want to. Well, in this, we see Captain America like basically thinking that he's trying to buy time for his team to go save these hostages, but really on the flip side of that, it's Doom kind of like trying to gain time for his men to do stuff.
Yeah,
so
I would say Doom thinks of himself as the benevolent monarch.
Yeah, because
so that's always been his take. Like, yeah, he's in control of everything, but look how safe the streets are when he's in control. That was a big thing. And then of course Captain America's like, yeah, I mean, there's really no such thing as a benevolent monarch.
Right.
It's not. You think you are, but if you can just take someone off the street and put him wherever you want or kill him or whatever because you think it's right, then is it really benevolent? Kind of.
Yeah, because when he's showing when Doom is showing Captain America around Latveria, there was an older lady like that he brings him to, and she's basically saying, "Oh my gosh, like I used to be robbed twice a week. Now I don't ever get robbed." And I did make a note that it's very much kind of like let's see, in Captain America Winter Soldier, where Captain America says to Nick Fury, when he's talking to Nick Fury, he says, "This isn't freedom, it's fear," and that's exactly I feel like this kind of situation. So, but overall, like I'm liking this issue by Chip Zdarsky so far.
Yeah, I really like it, and there's some real interesting character turns towards the end of this book. That are going to be interesting going forward. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. And Captain America is like kind of like realizing, I think, in this issue too, where it's like, oh, this isn't the same world, that he.
Well, right.
Knew.
That's the So just as Cap tells Doom, there's no real thing as a benevolent monarch.
Right.
Doom is also pointing out, well, America's not quite a democracy either.
Exactly.
Like, the country you're working for ain't exactly the country you were working for, in the 40s during World War II either, So there is that. Also, it's a tit for tat there going back and forth each. And then, so even though Doom will never realize, he's never going to come to some sort of realization like, oh, maybe he's right. Cap certainly is now rethinking some of the choices he's made, and stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm excited for the next issue. Yeah.
All right. Well, my next book is called X-Men of Apocalypse Alpha. So it is a one-shot, but it's leading into a book that's going to be starting. Now, the big thing for me is, we've got multiple timelines going on here. So this is going to be interesting this fall as we're reading different books. So we are returning to the Age of Apocalypse. So we're returning to the 90s Age of Apocalypse, okay? So, and the big thing about it is the fact that once that storyline ended in the mid-90s, everyone assumed that when time was restructured, right, and they were able to, they made it so it didn't happen, quote unquote, that obviously that universe would just be gone. But it's not. It has continued.
Okay.
And so even the people that live in that universe, they know that the timeline was supposed to end. They know that it was supposed to be changed, but it didn't. And so they're still there. And so Apocalypse is still dead. But the world is still going on and they're still fighting. So they're setting up, I don't know, it's I don't want to give too much away, but basically everyone in that timeline wants to stay. They want to find out why the timeline didn't end.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So the main characters are, Blink is the main character. So if you remember, she's the one that she can teleport. She's the one that created the Exiles team, right? So she can teleport between dimensions and she's like Nightcrawler in one sense, but then she can also teleport between dimensions as well. So it's her. We've got Magneto and Rogue, Gambit, Sabretooth and Wildchild, who are technically good guys in this universe.
Okay.
And then we've got some villains, and we've got another major character who's kind of the impetus for maybe what to do about this. But yeah. Again, by the ending, they've set up a situation where we'll see what happens. But as far as I know, this is not connected to the Age of Revelation that's coming.
Yeah.
But I don't know that for sure,
right.
honestly. Lots going on.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that when the Exiles go through their changes or whatever that's coming up, that this has anything to do with this one shot.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay.
So the Age of Revelation, is that like do you have to read everything from that to really
I don't know yet because we only
Yeah.
have that initial book. So
right. Yeah. Okay.
in the original Age of Apocalypse, you did not. You read the books that started it, and then there was a couple of one shots, but then there was like 4 or 5 titles. They were each 4-issue miniseries with different aspects of what was going on. You could read them or not, and then of course it dovetailed into like a finale or whatever.
Okay.
So it looks like for this one, there's going to be many more titles. So we'll see what's going on. But for the X-Men of Apocalypse, I think it's just going to be one book. That when it starts at whatever the number 1 is, it's just going to be one title.
Okay.
But it looks like it's going to be separate from anything else that's going on. So
okay.
Yeah, try not to be too confusing, Marvel, by putting 2 apocalypse-y type universes all in the same 6 months or whatever.
Okay.
So but it was a good, if you were a fan of that storyline, it's a welcome return. I mean, Jeff Loeb's writing it. I don't know if he was writing any of those books back in the day, but he may have. So and I mean, from what I remember, it feels like the same characters. So
okay. Nice.
So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And you could read it, even if you didn't want to follow it, you could still read it. It's still a complete story.
Okay.
Nice. So it's not like, it's not, there's a cliffhanger, but you could read it and say, okay, well, that was fun, and then move on.
That's what I kind of hope this Age of Revelation. I hope that's kind of that you can pick which ones that you kind of want to, but...
Yeah, I don't know. When they do these title changes and stuff, they also may mix and match the characters also. So maybe your favorite character who was in X-Men is now in the book that replaces the Phoenix book, let's say, or something.
Right.
So,
I can see that.
Yeah. So who knows about that? So,
all
right.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. And then, so I'm going to do...
Okay.
Yeah. So my last number 1 is The Return of Frank Castle. So the Punisher is back. And of course, they're going to take advantage of the fact that they can now do kind of rated R comics if they bag them. This is a Red Band comic, so I had to open up the bag to read it. Oh my gosh. So yes, so it is Red Band for good reason. It is very bloody. Weirdly enough, and I just don't understand our culture at all sometimes, is they still don't have cursing in it. So like when the characters curse... They still put the little squiggly, number sign, ampersand, whatever for the curses. It's like, wait a minute. You're literally showing me people getting their heads blown off, but you can say the words that I'm not going to say on this video because we probably can't say them. but on TV, pretty much almost anything goes now in terms of
especially on
words. Like it's like so. I don't get it. So I don't get it. It's red band, it's bagged, but yet the characters aren't going to swear. I just don't get it. And it's pretty gory, so I don't know. But anyway, Frank Castle's back. They do not mention, so if you were a fan of the Punisher, obviously he died at the end of his last Frank Castle book, the one where he was the prophesized what they call him, the Fist of Death or something. I mean, the hand create him to be like their avatar of death. They do not reference that at all, how he's alive, why he's alive, although there is a scene where you see Frank's his clothes are off. You do see that there's a handprint, like a hand symbol handprint on his back.
Okay.
So I can only assume that is telling us that did in fact happen. Like it's not some sort of a dream or, a non-continuity story. So, but I will say there is a surprise character who has a whole different kind of motive in this book, at least at the beginning. So I think that's the most interesting about this. I mean, the rest of it with Frank Castle is he's just killing people. Yeah. But he doesn't remember anything.
Okay.
He knows
from previous.
Yeah, he doesn't remember anything. And I don't even know if he remembers his name or not. So it's kind of a born identity kind of thing here at the beginning of the book. But I will say the more surprising thing about the story is the other character that's in the book. That's the most interesting to me. So not Frank Castle necessarily, who does what he does. But anyway, the art's good. If you want a bloody Punisher book, you're going to get it. And it was intriguing enough. Like I said, the setup for the next phase or whatever this phase is was intriguing. So
And this is an ongoing series?
Yeah, it's ongoing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, nice. I don't know. The other thing that Marvel's doing, because I don't know, like the double up, but there is another Punisher book coming.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, so that Punisher is going to be the Punisher from the Marvel Knights universe.
Okay.
Which, yes, I guess, I don't know, man. I've read every single Punisher book there probably has been.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I started reading Punisher back in, 1984, when that first miniseries came out. Like the only book I never had was 129. That was in the mid 70s and I didn't start reading Spider-Man until probably 200-ish.
Okay.
Around 200, I think. And like I told you before, my collecting, I never went back.
I
always went forward.
Yeah.
I didn't care what happened before. I just went forward. Yeah. So, but that was the time. It was harder to go back because there wasn't as many comic books.
Yeah.
So, you didn't.
And now I feel like you could get obsessive about going back. Like you could really.
Well, it's a lot easier. Like,
yeah,
you just pop on the internet.
Yeah.
You want the last 100 issues of whatever? Sure, pop on the internet. You can find them. I mean, no problem. So it's not that hard anymore. It's like, but back then it literally was. Yeah. You would have to have a comic book store or a comic convention, of which where I was, there was neither of those. So, it's like I guess I was trained to not go back because I didn't even realize you could.
That's fair.
I just assumed that if I got issue 205, that's where I was starting because how was I going to get issue 204?
Right,
and they didn't have things like trades or graphic novels or anything. Not to age myself, but that's how old I am. So I've read almost every Punisher that's ever been done, and I have to say that I'm not really sure how the Marvel Knights Punisher fits into the Marvel Universe Punisher, whether they're two separate characters or they were the same, but the continuities don't mesh or whatever. Anyway, so that World of Tomorrow Marvel Knights thing that got started up, there's going to be a Punisher in that book, which will not be this. I mean, I think it's still Frank Castle. I think,
gotcha.
But it's going to be the Marvel Knights Punisher, Frank Castle.
And would that be Red Band or no?
It's not going to be bagged.
No,
it'll probably be for mature audiences, but as far as I know, it's not going to be bagged.
Gotcha.
But I haven't ordered it yet, so I just know it's coming. So we'll see. Right. So there may be two there'll be 2 Punishers running around, but they may not. They won't. Yeah. So anyway, but you're gonna get your Punisher.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
But yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
liked it. That was probably out of the 3. That was my most favorite. That was my favorite book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was definitely cool.
I mean, we have so many heroes with so many books anyway, so I feel like it fits right in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. There's 8 Batman books, and they all seem to be
Exactly.
different. So yeah,
Yeah,
no, I get it.
for
It's
sure.
it's just weird that I don't know. It's ironic, I guess, for lack of a better word, that they're bringing back the Age of Apocalypse in one book and then doing their new version of Age of Apocalypse at the same time.
Right.
You know. So, but I get it. It's the anniversary. It's,
Yeah.
It's what, 30 years? I guess. 95.
Yeah, wow.
30 years.
That means Punisher's. I'm as old as the Punisher.
No, I'm for Age of Apocalypse.
Punisher's.
Punisher's.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Punisher's what? Going on
yeah, older than
50.
I am,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't remember the year 129 came out. I want to say it was 73 or 74. So
Okay.
maybe we already passed the anniversary?
Hmm.
Huh. Or maybe it is 75 and it is an anniversary and they just haven't said anything about it. I don't know. I'd have to check on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. We're just wasting time now. So, thank you, James.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. That was
thanks.
great. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be doing
Not
movies
next
then.
week, but
Okay.
the week after we will be back.
The week after, and then we've got, I think we got a pretty cool idea of something we're going to do. We won't say it yet, but yeah, I think we're looking forward to the next month because, we're going to have some fun. So, we'll let you know when we get it all settled. But other than that, thanks, James.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.